What's up? What's up? Lord Skunk here, lordskunk.com, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live show. Man, we got a ton of stuff to go through. Breaking news is happening right now as we speak. All kinds of great stuff that we got. Let me pop down in here real quick to the Discord chat. We got a bunch of guests. We got a bunch of people hanging out tonight. So all kinds of good stuff going on. Here we go. We're live. What's up, everybody? You guys ready to party or what?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, Lord Skunk.
Good. It's Friday. We get to hear some beautiful voices of some beautiful people. So the first thing I want to do is thank all of our patrons. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. They are scrolling up there at the top of the live show. Appreciate that. If you guys are interested in helping support the video content, the website, the guides, all the stuff that we do, I really appreciate that. All we ask for is $1 a month, man. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than a pack of gum. To support the live shows. So head over to lordskunk.com, click on support us, or click the link in the bottom of this video in the description. We'll be glad to get you set up on that. Special privileges over in Discord. You can hang out with us in Discord chat right now live if you're a patron. You can chill with us right over here. You don't have to leave the game. You can be in Discord listening to what's going on in the live show and play the game at the same time. You can listen to that in Discord. So pretty cool there. Some breaking news is going on right now. Did you guys happen to see the news on the official forums yet? The new characters, all the good stuff that we got coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very exciting, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna flip over to that here in just a second. We're gonna talk about which characters to take to max level. Very important to know that. We got limited resources right now, getting it mainly through the raids. We got a 7-star Shore Trooper review that Remon did. We got the ships preview. We'll recap again that we got last week. So I was a little disappointed when getting ready to do this show because I didn't see a lot of updates or anything new really happening this week. And then right there at the end, CG did not let me down. They gave me an update. They gave me a tidbit, and it looks like a really good tidbit. So I'm going to pull that up. I just got to find that here. So let me find that page. There we go. Boom. The new tournament and Tank Takedown Tinkering is what they're titling this thing as. So I gotta look at this on two different screens. So hang on, let me pull this thing up. So here's how they start out. This is from CG Kazaspoon. Hiya Hollow Table Heroes. I'm ecstatic to introduce and share some details regarding our new Streets of Jedha squad tournament launching next week. Let's take a closer look and get into the guts of what's in store. Streets of Jedha tournament info. A new character from Rogue One has arrived. This is Chirrut Imwe. Did I say that right?
We have no idea how to say it.
All right.
Good enough.
Well, we won't know for like 2 months.
Well, a thing was posted on my Twitter feed today. Is asking if this guy is force sensitive was the question of the post. I didn't read it. Oh yeah.
Yes, he is.
He is.
He
He looks certainly to be.
I believe it's Chirrut Îmwe.
Chirrut Imwe. Okay, so I was right then.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Yeah.
My guess was correct. Cool. Okay, so this guy, this is the blind looking dude. Looks like he has some force abilities in the trailer. So we're gonna find out more about this guy. We'll get some more details about him, but it's cool. We get to see kind of his character model at least. We know he's going to be the new squad tournament character. So I'm assuming that that's why they said last time that Shore Trooper, which we talked about in the last live show, Shore Trooper, this would be the last tournament for Shore Trooper. So hopefully Shore Trooper ends up somewhere. Maybe they talk about that. I didn't read all this yet, so I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. So let's see what they say about Chirrut Îmwe. A spiritual warrior monk is a balanced rebel attacker capable of dispelling debuffs from his allies and granting them both a heal over time and tenacity up. His belief in the Force and his guidance helps guide his strikes, granting him strength of purpose. Interesting. So maybe assuming this is another new ability or something. It looks like they're flashing his abilities on this little animation thing that they got. So strength of purpose. I can't really see it.
4 of them.
It's a second
Anyway.
special.
Okay.
Second special.
Interesting. I'm sure they might tell us a little
He
more about
looks to be
gonna have
an interesting part of the canon as well. Could this be Rey's father?
No, Casta, this is not Ray's father.
that. This guy's like Asian.
He's gonna have a synergy like Wedge and Biggs with somebody else.
That's cool. Okay,
Yes,
so cool. So really, we're getting very powerful rebels right now. So rebels are super OP. Obviously, we already talked about Bistan. I mean, Bistan's a boss for sure. So this guy looks like he only brings even more power to the Jedi teams here. Now, is that Bistan in the screenshot? Is that who that is up there? Okay, so
Bistan is in there too. And his buddy Baz Malbus is
Okay.
that other synergizing character.
So Baz Malbus is the dude with the flamethrower. It looks like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a chain gun,
Okay.
a blaster, chain blaster.
All right. Okay. Cool. Well, strength of purpose. Okay, so now it's telling us a little bit about what strength of purpose is. So we'll scroll down. Actually, you know what? I'll leave that graphic up for you guys. You guys can enjoy that graphic. Giving him increased damage for each of his buffed allies, as well as calling his best friend, Baz Malbus, if Baz is in the squad, to assist. Which, by the way, Baz Malbus is also coming to the game as a Chromium exclusive. More info on him when he gets released. For more in-depth look at Chirrut and his abilities, please review our character strategy post here. Okay, well, I'm not going to click on that right this second. Shards of Chirrut are available exclusively in the Streets of Jedha Squad Tournament starting this Friday, November 18th. Back again already for another tournament. November 18th, 5 p.m. Player zone time. This event will run until Sunday, November 20th. You will need to be at least level 30 in order to have a chance of unlocking this Rebel Attacker for your collection. Just like the most recent tournament, squad refreshes will cost ally points and not crystals. Okay, that is underlined and bolded. So, okay. So, cool. And then, so this will be a weekend tournament. So, this will be our first truly weekend tournament, I believe. Everything else was done during the week. So, this might be good. This might be bad for some. We'll see.
Yeah.
So
So by
the
day, they've been Thursday to Saturday.
Yeah, Thursday. So this
Yeah,
this
now
will
it's
be
Friday to Sunday.
yeah this will be interesting. They're mixing it up, so that's cool. The content of the tournament rewards will be the same as the Shore Trooper tournament event, with the difference being that you will win Chirrut shards as opposed to Shore Trooper shards. Well, that makes sense. Dominate the Streets of Jedha Squad Tournament leaderboard this weekend. It's not this weekend though, is it? It's next weekend.
No, next weekend.
To add this Rogue One Rebel Attacker to your squad. Tank Takedown Raid. Okay, so here we go. Here's some Tank Takedown updates. We're aware of the difficulty guilds are experiencing with the Tank Takedown Raid. Not the ones, though, I want to point out, not the ones that follow the LordSkunk.com, TeamSkunk.com, AAT Tank Takedown Guide on LordSkunk.com. They don't have any issues with this whatsoever. It was ideally crafted for higher guild membership numbers and more frequent participation, but since then, research has shown that enough guilds are below those assumptions to make the raid overall far more difficult than we'd intended. While there is no set timeline in regards to when these fixes will be released, we want to let you know it is on our radar and actively being addressed. As always, we appreciate your feedback and your respective guilds' experience with this raid as we look into tuning the raid's difficulty. We've also heard your feedback on the tank animation in Phase 2, and we'll be making changes to address this. So I'm assuming that means they're going to try to speed that up a little bit. So we talked about this when the raid first came out. We had actually quite a long discussion. I know Riemann was there, myself, McLeod. I know us three at least were there and talked about this. We all assumed that they were going to eventually nerf this thing a little bit, which is surprising that it took this long to do it. I'm surprised that they're still doing it now after it's been what? It's been, 3 weeks now? 2 weeks? At least 3 weeks.
About a month.
A month already? Wow, man, it's flying by. So I see why they would do this. I see why they would make some changes. Hopefully they only make this change to the regular and not the heroic. That would be cool if they do that. I mean, it kind of loses the flavor if they just totally nerf the thing. I mean, we all are.
I think the heroic rate is fine just as it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think the
we're
problem-
progressing higher up. We're getting higher level gear.
Yeah.
We're getting higher levels. So, I don't see why they would want to nerf that. If they do, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But speaking of that, speaking of the Tank Takedown Raid, I want to announce something big, a big announcement for everybody. We're going to be doing a special live broadcast on Thursday of next week. Okay, so this will be the day before the tournament. We're going to be doing a special broadcast. It's going to be of the heroic ATT Tank Takedown from start to finish, starting at 8:30 next Thursday. So let me find out the day of that, what the date is. It's going to be November something. So it's going to be starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so 7:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific. We're going to run that. It's going to be a 2-hour gap. We're going to have all of Team Skunk that's available. We'll go through strategies. We'll go through all the different goodies that have to do with the AT Tank Takedown Heroic. So that will help, I think, a lot of these guilds. So they'll be able to see that thing live. They'll be able to see every single phase. They'll hear what the best teams are. And again, if you haven't done so, make sure you guys are checking out the AT Tank Takedown Guide. It's good for both heroic and regular on LordSkunk.com. That has just been updated, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show because there is a brand new Uber Mega team. Okay, we have just found a brand new uber mega team. I don't know if it's quite the Tebow of the Rancor, but it's still a very good and very different team, and it does include an Ewok. I'll give you a hint. It does include an Ewok, and it's not Tebow. So we're going to get to that just a little bit later in the show. But what do you guys think about this tank takedown stuff? I mean, I know for some of the guilds, probably like McLeod and maybe Cheeky Cutie and Talon, this might be exciting because I know you guys are doing the regular right now, I believe.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, that just quickly, that's going to be coming to you next Thursday. That's November 17th. And back to the raid. Yeah, the regular raid is taking people who aren't ready for the heroic. If you're not at that level, then you're definitely doing the T6. And it's taking over a week or close to a week
Yeah,
to get it
it's
down.
tough. It's taking us about
a
2
long
weeks.
time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're getting pretty quick at it now. So
yeah,
I think
getting better, but still, it's just too long for it to take. I mean, obviously, you're just accumulating so many tickets. You're maxed out all the time because you just never get around to clearing it fast enough.
I think they should work on the normal raid. I think the heroic should stay the same. I think that if they're going to make changes to the heroic, it's going to be a little late because I think by the time they make all these adjustments, being that they're just announcing that they're talking about it now, it's like it's probably not going to happen for a little bit of time now. We're looking probably at least a few weeks before they make any serious adjustments, and by that time there'll be a lot more guilds that are doing heroic already. I don't think that. Like I said, if they had addressed this maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, I'd say yeah, okay. But I mean, like now it seems kind of a moot point, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you from a heroic rating AAT takedown rating guild. I'll tell you from that perspective, just maybe so EACG has that perspective, is that we actually enjoy it. I mean, we steamrolled the Rancor raid like a lot of guilds have in the past. And it was challenging. I mean, it was very challenging for us as a guild community. And when this thing first came out, we had to restructure. We had a lot of we had some people that had to leave the community just over issues because of this thing. I mean, I think overall it made us stronger. So a big part of our enjoyment, I think, as a guild, that has very good leadership, has very good structure, has very good coordination, has very good communication. I mean, we enjoy the tank takedown. We enjoy the difficulty of it. It's not that difficult for us, really, at this point. Now that we have it down pat. So I would urge them not to make any dramatic or drastic changes to the heroic model, like Riemann has said. I would make that more towards the regular model, which seems to be very long. For these guilds. So I maybe try to shorten the regular mode up a little bit. Let's get these guilds geared up. Let's get them ready for heroic. But heroic, the way it is, I think they did a fantastic job with the way they released the heroic tank takedown. So that's my 2 cents on it. We got the character strategy for Chirrut Imwe up. I'm just going to breeze through that real quick. He's a balanced rebel attacker who dispels buffs, heals allies, and grants tenacity up. He unlocks at 3 stars. He's available from the Squad Arena tournament, which we found that out. Let's look at his abilities. His basic attack is Staff Strike. Okay, we've got 2 screens going here. So deal physical damage to target enemy with a 40 to 70% chance based on ability level to gain heal over time for 2 to 3 turns based on ability level. If the target is debuffed, grant heal over time to a random ally for 2 to 3 turns based on ability level. Special attack as the Force wills. Okay. This is all allies have their current health percentages equalized. So this is going to be like Barris. Dispel all debuffs from all allies and grant them a heal over time effect for 1 to 4 turns based on ability level. For each effect dispelled, allies that were not debuffed gain tenacity up for 1 to 3 turns. Again, based on ability level. Special attack.
Basically, Barris and Rex together.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I mean, some of these new characters, it seems like they're replacing not just one character, but multiple characters. So it's interesting that they're doing that, the way they're doing this. And there's a lot of games out there, obviously, as new characters come out, they're very powerful. But this one seems to be, to follow the trend that they're actually replacing, many other characters. Short Trooper is a great example of that, too. Short Trooper really filled a good role, but he's pretty powerful. Riemann could talk more about him here in a minute when we get to that. We talk about his 7-star review. He'll give us a brief overview of that. But let's see. His special attack as the Force wills is all allies have their current health. Okay, we already did that. What's his next one? Special attack, strength of purpose. Deal physical damage to target enemy, dealing 5 to 20% more damage based on ability level for each buffed ally. If Baz Malbus is present, he is called to assist. So again, we're seeing that synergy that they've been doing now with Wedge and Biggs, and then with Ahsoka and Annie. Unique ability, Indomitable Will. Okay, so wow, this guy's got a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, this guy is the real deal so far.
If you look at that animation for that special ability, he's critting for like 23k there.
Yeah, and he's healing himself for 39. That's great.
Oh my god, this guy and Bisty. I mean, are they just like trying to punk us or what? I mean, what is going on?
I don't know what they're trying to do with these guys. I think they're gonna change everything with these new characters. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So okay, unique ability, Indomitable Will. Chirrut Imwe gains plus 5 to 17% counter chance and health steal for each living enemy, doubled for Empire enemies. If Baz Malbus is present, he also gains these bonuses. Unique ability, Resolute Endurance. Whenever a rebel ally is critically hit, they gain heal over time for 2 turns. At the start of each turn, if Chirrut Îmwe is alive, all allies with heal over time recover 1 to 4% of their max health based on ability level. Wow, okay, so let's talk about the general strategy of this character. They're kind of giving us a breakdown of that. Chirrut provides heals over time and tenacity up, consistently topping off the health of your allies and greatly reducing the chance of enemies applying debuffs against them. Strength of Purpose gives Chirrut a strong burst of damage as long as your allies can keep their buffs on. Okay. Cool.
How many turns does he have tenacity up for?
Heals over time, consistently topping off your... It doesn't say, I don't think. It's just a general strategy, so...
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they kind of hint at, like, his weakness there is a Dispeller on the other team. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
B2.
One little weakness on this guy. Look at the stuff that he's got going on for him, though.
Yeah.
Well, B2 will wipe all that stuff out.
Well, let's see what hero synergies he has. Okay, they're saying Chirrut is fantastic on his own, but really shines when grouped with his friend and protector, Baz Malbus. When paired, the duo shares their unique bonuses to max health, health steal, and counter. So we don't even know what Baz Malbus has yet. So Baz Malbus is going to give this guy...
He seems to have like a speed down on him. He's probably a taunter too, because it says that the two of them together, it gives all his abilities, but it says taunter as well. He has no taunt ability, so this Baz guy has to have it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the new Wix combo.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty deadly. So just and they can be on the same team. They're both rebels, so I mean, there's some benefits here. That's really deadly team. Chirrut greatly increases the staying power of rebel tanks, providing heals over time when they are crit. When used in non-rebel squads, Baz and Chirrut provide a solid core of taunt, heals, dispel, and cleanse in addition to potent burst damage. This presents several interesting options that can be built around this core. Where to use Chirrut? Chirrut is distinct as an attacker who can cleanse debuffs. Since he has 2 unique abilities and no leader ability, you can replace Akbar or Rex in their respective squads, opening up new paths of leadership. Adding Chirrut to your existing Rebel Galactic War squad will greatly increase his ally survivability, allowing you to complete more of the board with a single squad. Players have been previously limited to having 2 or 3 squads with group cleanse to attempt to do their first tier of the Rancor raid. Chirrut provides the player with another quality attempt at the Gamorrean captain and his guards without worrying about having to retreat your other cleansers. Okay. Let's see what they're doing here. So very interesting for Chirrut. So I'll have all this up. This all was just released pretty much right before the live show started. So we'll get all this up on LordSkunk.com. But what do you guys think? About this guy.
He adds another option. I mean, basically, you're if you're looking for a cleanse, I mean, you're really kind of limited to either having Rex, Akbar, or Ewok Elder, and now you have this other option that also gives you a heal and dispels the effects and gives tenacity up as well. So I mean, he's kind of like you said before, he's kind of like a mixture of Barriss and Rex and Akbar. So I mean, he's he's really cool. I mean, the fact that he calls an assist also, that seems like he could be like a, because the one thing about Rex is Rex does all that stuff, but you sacrifice high damage with Rex. I mean, he can do a little bit of damage with his special attack, but he really he's not hitting hard like Anakin or Orlando or Wiggs or or Wedge or Big. So I mean, having him in there now, you may have the benefits of Rex and Ewok Elder and Akbar, but also be able to attack and hit pretty hard as well.
I'm gonna predict though that his other weakness is gonna be with all this stuff, because they haven't really put other information on the stats, is that he's gonna be kind of slow. Because if he's fast as well, then he's basically unstoppable. But yeah, if it's gonna be the Chirrut and Bays or Baz, it's probably instead of Wigs, it's gonna be the Chaz combo from now on.
Well, he's going to get a damage increase from Wedge Leader.
Yeah.
You know, if he's going to get turn meter increase from Wedge Leader. He's going to get the call and assist. I mean, you know, just think about having a team of let's say Wedge, Biggs, this guy, and then his friend, and then maybe either Scarif Pathfinder or Bistan on the same team all at once. That could be pretty serious.
Yeah, some good potentials there. Good stuff. I mean, the Rebels are super strong. They're super strong already for the past 2-3 months at least. And they're just getting better and better with the release of this thing. We talked a little bit about that in the last show too. How the Rebels and then probably the Empire are going to start to gain a lot with this movie coming out. So real quick, we did talk a little bit about Shore Trooper since we brought up tournaments. Riemann did do a 7-star Shore Trooper review. You can check that out on lordskunk.com. Many of you that do watch the show know that I do play a game called Marvel Future Fight. I just did a full segment. I got 2 more episodes. They're done. I just got to get them released. They'll be released probably Monday and Tuesday, Sunday and Monday maybe. In regards to the World Boss battles for Marvel Future Fight, you can check those out. The majority of them are up there. We got 2 more that are coming to round out that series. Ships preview, we went over that. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. And if you missed that last week, you missed the live show and you didn't follow up on that, make sure you head over to lordskunk.com and check on that ships preview. Just go down to some of the older posts. That was a pretty in-depth preview that they did last week regarding the ships. So they gave us a good update last week for the ships. They gave us another good update for the new tournament and the new characters. Actually, technically 2 new characters that are being released this week. So a lot of good stuff. So I was a little concerned that we're going to have a lot of news this week, and we ended up having a good amount of news. So that was really good. The next thing I'd like to get into here in just a minute, if you're about ready, McLeod, we're going to be doing the meta report. You be ready for that in about another minute or so?
Yep, good to go.
All right, cool. If you guys have a question for the live show that you want answered, we answer questions at the end of the show. Feel free, okay, to follow at Lord Skunk 1 on Twitter and tweet with the hashtag AskSkunk. We will be glad to answer those questions at the end of the show. We got a couple from we'll probably take a couple from the live show or live chat as well. And we'll probably take a couple that I saw posted in Discord that I haven't had a chance to respond to. So we'll probably get a couple of those. So we will have a spot for a couple questions. So make sure you get on Twitter to do that. Again, the hashtag is AskSkunk. And then we'll also possibly, if you stick around to the end of the show, we may have some ally codes to give out. Okay? And we did that last week, and we gave those out. It was pretty fun, exciting. But this week is a very special treat, okay, because you will get the second most beautiful Star Wars Galaxy Hero player. She has joined us this week. She is back. Cheeky Cutie, you're with us, right?
I'm here.
Can you make some room on your ally list for some of these people watching the show?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so you got a chance for hers, and then you got a chance for the number 1 most beautiful Star Wars Galaxy Hero player. That's myself, obviously. So us 2, Riemann, I'm sure we'll throw his out there, and everybody else that's in here hanging out, we'll probably get that out if we have enough time. So let's get through the rest of the stuff. What do we got next? We're going to be doing the meta report. McLeod, we ready to go over that? I can pull that screen up here. We're going to start with the leaders, correct?
Yeah, if you want to throw up the leaders right there. Once again, not much movement. And I think we're keeping an eye on the bottom of these lists at the moment, because the top seems to be pretty much locked down with Lando, Wedge, Rex, Palpatine, that kind of thing. But the only real movement we have this week is we have lost Count Dooku. It looked like some people may have been trying to counter teams there for a while, but I guess that's not really working out for people. So we've lost Dooku, and we have a reemergence of I'm a Gundai. So he's come back pretty strong.
Even more importantly on there, you have Qui-Gon Jinn, who I haven't seen on this thing in a long time.
He's always been there. He's been floating around at the bottom there.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 1 above Dooku last week. He's just been holding on in there as a leader.
Wow.
yet. It's just some people who don't have some of those other higher up meta characters. But Qui-Gon's always floating around both top 10 lists, just about. Always hanging on with just like one or two.
Guess I never
And
noticed him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's, like I said, we've kind of only really been keeping an eye on the bottom in the last couple of weeks, and he's always been there, but he's literally just hanging on. It's almost always like three. I think there's just those three diehard Qui-Gon fans who are just.
Yeah, well, that can make sense too. Lower level server, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like I said, so Count Dooku, it looks like the Jedis are battling out with the Sith because Dooku's out and Imagundi's making another appearance. So maybe some people are figuring out that he is the better counter than Dooku with all the Jedis. That seems to be how it's going this week for the leaders, but otherwise everything's pretty much holding station. You got your Wigs, you got your Rex, and you got your Emperor Palpatine leads there. Lando hasn't been knocked up the top in a while. It's probably because of his speed up for all those rebels. So if we want to swiftly move on to the squad makeup, again, top of the pile, the top five are basically exactly the same. Looking at that Wigs combo with the Anakin backup and your Stormtrooper Hans in there. But again, at the bottom, we're seeing a little bit of a shift. And Shore Trooper is back, having completely disappeared off the list last week for some unknown reason. Shore Trooper is back, and he did push out Qui-Gon Jinn, apparently. So I'm not sure why these are moving in bulk, because there was quite a lot of Qui-Gon Jinns in terms of squad makeup. He got 134 there last week, coming in ahead of the Battle Droid. So Battle Droid's still there at the bottom, but Shore Trooper shot right in there and taken out Qui-Gon entirely. So maybe more people have figured out how to use him properly, realizing that he's still effective at around 4 stars if you max out his gear and got a bunch of levels at him. So there you go. That's what we're having at the bottom of the tables at the moment. Top's still the same, and Qui-Gon Jinn just about holding on there in terms of leader, but gone in terms of squad makeup in favor of Shore Trooper.
Yeah, I'm seeing on my server.
I don't know how you guys are finding that on your servers. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, on mine, I'm seeing just so much Sun Fac. I mean, it's just stupid how much Sun Fac I see.
Yeah.
Sun Fac's so good. I just don't have him personally. But I mean, he's literally everywhere. And if they don't have a Sun Fac, or even if they do, sometimes they throw in that B2. So I'm working on getting B2 right now myself personally. But I saw a really tough team. This is a very tough team I saw on my server. I just want to throw it out there. I haven't seen it a lot. I've always seen one guy running it. And this guy usually always throws in a CBK Crimson. He always throws in some weird teams from time to time. So this was kind of a unique one I saw. It's a Palpatine lead, Shore Trooper, Royal Guard, Vader, and B2. So it doesn't sound like there's a ton of DPS there, but you can't do anything against that team. Yeah. It's very annoying.
Locks you down a bit.
Yeah, if you don't have B2,
yeah,
it's tough.
I think what we were saying last week is we were seeing the reemergence of the double tank team, which wasn't really holding up very well. I mean, there are a couple on my server which are running a triple tank team, but like you said, it's lacking the DPS. So
well, I think it's got to be the right. It's got to be the right tank team. Right
exactly.
double tank. So, you can't throw in Stormtrooper Han and Royal Guard anymore. It doesn't work.
So I believe the meta that everyone was heading towards, especially with the tournament, was Shore Trooper and Sun Fac, and then your Wigs combo at the top there with Lando. That seemed to be what the killer team was for at least around the time of the tournament week. But that may be proven itself coming up as more people get Shore Trooper. I don't know if they're going to release him once they have this new tournament, because obviously he's not available there anymore. They're going to have to put him somewhere eventually. But yeah, double tank teams are coming back once everyone figures out what the best two tanks for them to be, and pretty sure Shore Trooper is going to be one of them.
Cool. Yeah, I'm seeing. I've done this team for a long time. You guys know I've ran this team with Rex lead, Rex Fives, Ayla, Qui-Gon, and Annie. I ran that team for probably a variation of that team at least for the last 2-3 months, maybe longer than that. I don't know. And now it's like all the top teams are doing that. It's just they stuck in freaking Sun Fac. On that team for me now, so that's what I'm seeing at the top. That's like the top 5, and then the rest of them between like 6 and 15 are all these just random hodgepodge teams. So it's tough because you got to keep switching your team up to move up to beat them, and then you got the next team, so you got to switch. You know what I mean? You just got to keep switching. So it's very interesting. So I'm glad again. With the ever since level 80, they've definitely made it very competitive with the mods, obviously, with protection, all this stuff that we didn't really like at first. They have made it very competitive in the game, which sucks some days because, when you don't have a lot of time to work the arena, there have been days where I have finished outside of obviously the number one spot, which is frustrating if you don't have a lot of time to be able to get up there. But but when you do, it is fun to rise through the ranks on that. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that. So very good on the meta report. Anybody want to add anything to that? Seeing anything weird on your servers that we might need to know about?
McLeod rocks.
He does. He's handsome too. He's at least the third, fourth, or fifth most beautiful Star Wars Galaxy Heroes player. That's for sure.
We have a new member of Team Skunk who's also a YouTuber, Analt, that just joined Team Skunk like earlier this week.
Well, you're breaking up there. You did the robot thing again. You said something about a new member, and then you went out.
We have a new member of Team Skunk, Anal T101. He's with me. He's one of the EA Game Changers. He's coming with me to California next week to go over to Capital Games. So him and his guild have joined us as a Team Skunk Den of Ren. I don't know if he's going to be available today, but I'd like to get him on the live show as a guest sometime.
Sure. All right. Well, welcome. What's his name?
Anal T101.
Arnold?
Or it's basically like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Arnold, like that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would say Arnold.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Well, welcome to him. Welcome to his guild. Now, this is a guild that he brought over, or this is a guild that he brought some members that we helped him build up?
No, they brought over almost an entire guild. We're just filling them up a little bit, but they have some good members, and they're working their way up to heroic.
Yeah, we're working on helping him fill out real quick, so hopefully they'll be fully up to speed and 50 soon.
Well, that's good, man. Well, welcome to him, and it's the Den of Ren, Team Skunk Den of Ren.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, where are we at now? Now I got to move back. Hang on, I was writing somebody's notes. Somebody take some notes of these questions. They are asking some questions in the live chat. We'll try to get to some of those. Cheeky Cutie or somebody, if you can just make some quick notes of those. I think we should move into the top 10. So I do want to reiterate back. We have updated the raid guide. Okay, so I want to get to that. So we're going to get, after the top 10, we're going to get into the raid guide. We're just going to look at the quick updates. We got this new team we need to talk about real quick. Then we got the Swindler's Minute, correct, from Casaspella coming up.
Yep.
All right, great. And then we'll get to the questions and answers. So, again, we really appreciate you guys checking out the live show. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. And if you want to be super cool, hit that share button and share this on your Facebook, your Twitter, and all the other stuff. Share it on Pinterest even. Your mom can see it. All kinds of good stuff there. So let's move into the top 10. I got to find out how to pull this thing up here. Bear with me just a moment. Okay, I think I got it. It was pretty easy. It wasn't that bad. Okay, so this is the LordSkunk.com top 10 list of the week, okay? And we are going to be looking at the top 10 characters to take from gear level 10 up to the max gear level, okay? Because our gear right now is very limited. So let's take a look at this. This is top 10 characters to take from gear 10 to max. AAT raid rewards are a scarce resource, and every single character is better at gear 11 max than they are at gear 10. With so many game modes available and so many characters to work on, where should you be putting your hard-earned gear to make the biggest difference? This is very important because we do not want to make a mistake when we do have such limited resources in the gear, and it does take quite a while to get it. So let's see. Number 10 of the top 10 characters to take from gear 10 to max is Ayla Secura. And I have seen quite a few people in the Team Skunk main guild that have been upgrading their Ayla Secura. So characters that have counter attack gain the most from additional gear because increased health and protection are all you need to greatly increase the number of damage of these attacks. Ayla does that in spades and calls assist and stuns. Her new gear pieces add +6 speed, 4600 protection, as well as health, steal, potency, and tenacity gains. So 220 gold item gear pieces that she needs, 440 purple items, and 2 AAT raid pieces. Ayla Secura. Number 9, Darth Vader. Sometimes all you need is to be tanky and get massive strength gains in gear. Vader does both of these things going from G10 to max, 5,000 protection and strength for days on his new gear pieces will keep him pounding away at your opponents in the arena and the tournament. 330 gold gear pieces, 490 purple gear item pieces, and 1 AAT raid piece. Number 8, General Grievous, the pilot of the Soulless One. A modded and geared General Grievous is a challenging character to deal with if you don't have a counter. The things he was missing were speed and protection, and when you maximize his gear, you get a huge 5,000 protection boost and 12 speed, a character worth the long grind. Plus, he flew a lot of ships. 110 gold items, 760 purple items, 2 AAT raid pieces. I hope McLeod liked that throughout for the Soulless One ship.
Yep. Nice shout out.
Nice. All right, number 7, General Kenobi. Boom, baby. General Kenobi. First list we had with General Kenobi on it, I think. So number 7, General Kenobi will do many things for your Jedi and clone characters, but all of them rely on him staying alive. A huge 9,000 protection bump at Gear 11, as well as a speed increase, will likely be the difference between a marginal and a dominant character. Now we just need shards to unlock him. He needs 0 gold items. It's good to note. 670 purple gear items. 3 AAT raid pieces. So you better start hanging on to those raid pieces for once you unlock your General Kenobi in 8 months. So, number 6, Sun Fac, the bane of Lord Skunk. What can make a counter-based character better? More protection, of course. Sun Fac gets a massive 7,000 great additional protection with Gear 11 and becomes a force in every game mode. The cost seems steep at 720 purple items, but only 2 AAT raid pieces keep you from maxing them. 110 gold item gear pieces, 720 purple item gear pieces, and 2 AAT raid pieces. Number 5, Stormtrooper Han. Many people already have this character at Gear 11, but that does not make it less of an important gearing milestone for your teams. Yet another Phase 3 heroic AAT character who can also be a dominant force in Arena. Stormtrooper Han gains 3,600 protection as well as speed, potency, and tenacity. Essentially useless at Gear 9. He has a role on almost any team at Gear 11. 110 gold item gear pieces, 520 purple gear pieces, 1 Rancor raid piece, and 1 AAT raid piece of gear. Number 4, Shore Trooper. Uh-oh, little error here, little Easter egg. See if you guys notice it. Shore Trooper heals a passive taunt to break Wig's teams and team-wide crit immunity. Shore Trooper gains an unbelievable 8,600 protection as well as buffs to speed, tenacity, and health steal. Get him to 7 stars and he can even dominate your P3 Chirpentine runs as well. 220 gold items. We'll get to that Chirpentine. It's another little Easter egg. Second one of this particular ranking. We'll get to that here in a minute. But he needs 220 gold item gear pieces, 540 purple item pieces, 1 Rancor raid piece, and 1 AAT raid piece. Quick pop quiz for anybody in here paying attention. What Rancor raid gear piece does Shore Trooper need? Does anybody know?
I believe it is a droid collar.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 3, Emperor Palpatine. Combined with Chief Chirpa, Palpatine is a dominant force in P3 of the AAT raid and an excellent arena leader. An additional 3,800 protection as well as damage increases on multiple items greatly increases dominance in both game modes. 110 gold item gear pieces, 560 purple item gear pieces, and 3 AAT raid pieces for Emperor Palpatine. Coming in at number 2, TIE Fighter Pilot. Number 2, TIE Fighter Pilot. Attackers who have foresight should not also get huge protection when you gear them up. TIE Fighter Pilot does 3,600 protection, 12 speed, 10% potency, will pack a powerful punch for this character, AoE debuffs, and powerful basic attack. He's going to need 220 gold item gear pieces, 480 purple item gear pieces, and 4 AAT raid pieces. Wow, a lot of raid pieces from the AAT for the old TIE Fighter Pilot. Number 1 character. Here he is. I knew he would eventually make one of our list. I knew it wouldn't be long for old Bistan to get in there. Coming in at number 1, he could be a good date for old Daka. Bistan, sometimes the difference between a decent character and a dominant one is a little bit of speed and a little bit of protection. That is exactly what you get here. A huge 4,500 protection and 6 speed should be enough to make this character go first and activate his deadly team-wide turn meter gain, rapid fire basic attacks, and huge damage special attacks. He's going to need 330 gold item pieces, 720 purple gear items, 3 AAT raid pieces, for Bistan. He's got to be the best looking on this list too. So there we go. What do you guys think of the top 10 characters to take from gear 10 to max gear?
I think I don't have a lot of these characters.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
exactly.
characters with no clear path to accessibility, with the exception of Kenobi, which does have a clear path, although it may be a very long path.
Yeah, somebody did the math on that. I can't remember what it was. If you just got the 6, the minimum 6, I think they said it was going to be, you would unlock him in, I think December 12th, I think, and then he would actually be 7-star in April. Wow. I might not even be alive in April. That's crazy. All right, so final notes. AAT rewards, you get you can see those on the screen there, and then you got the Rancor rewards, what drops in there. This is another TeamSkunk.com presentation brought to you by Mac at Mac Media Artist Collective. Boom, baby. McLeod does the top 10 graphics, and our boy Malia Bean does the top 10. Very good. Very nice. Good job, guys. Any last comments or commentary on the top 10 characters to take from Gear 10 to Max?
Well, it doesn't exactly match the characters I've taken to Gear 11.
Well, of course, yours are all going to be scoundrel characters. So
that's true.
Yeah. But my top pick on there that I liked was Ayla Secura. That's a good call on Ayla. I like it makes a lot of sense. So good stuff there. Again, if you guys have a question, make sure you go over to Twitter. You guys should be doing this earlier in the week. You shouldn't be doing this during the live shows. You can use the hashtag AskSkunk, follow at Lord Skunk1 on Twitter, and use the hashtag AskSkunk. We'll be glad to answer your questions. We got a couple questions here, it looks like, in the live chat. Hopefully somebody took some notes of those, and I have some in Discord that people ask me.
I want a Gear 11 Vader. That's my number one.
Gear 11 Vader, yeah. I mean, he was on that list, so yeah, he's pretty strong. I have fought a higher level Vader on my server in Arena. He is very annoying. So, yeah, Vader. But we finally have him. Most of us have him where we can unlock him at 7-star, and you're right. Now we can start gearing him up. So,
I think with TIE Fighter Pilot and Shore Trooper and all the new Empire characters, I think he could be really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I talked earlier about that the Empire team that I see in my arena now. It's actually really strong. Doesn't seem like it on paper, but it is. It's Emperor Palpatine, Royal Guard, Shore Trooper, Vader, and then they threw in B2, which is really annoying. So it's a good team. You might not think at first glance that it's very high DPS, but it gets the job done for sure. So
I just can't until they put TIE Fighter Pilot Farmable somewhere. I'm kind of sad that they haven't done that yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Waiting for him to drop.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in a pack very soon as we get closer to Rogue One. So if you don't want to wait, to farm him, you could buy him up. Guaranteed.
Well, he's going to be essential for ships, right? So I mean, he's going to fly the TIE Fighter.
Yeah, well, we also have First Order TIE Pilot, right?
First Order TIE Pilot. So we'll have 2 TIE Fighters: a First Order TIE Pilot, a First Order TIE Fighter, and an Empire TIE Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about Vader and his TIE Advance there. I think he's going to be a key one.
That's going to be really cool.
Yep.
All right. They're looking forward to ships.
All right, so let's go over. I just want to go over real quick. Let's go over to the raid guide. Let me pull that up here. And on the raid guide, okay, we got a new team, which we kind of hinted at in that top 10 list. Make sure you're heading over to LordSkunk.com and get in on this guide, man. It's helping a ton of guilds and a ton of players. I get messages all the time from people from other guilds, man. It's so funny. They act like, like they have to ask our permission to use. I'm like, dude, no, I don't care. I mean, our guild uses it. We made this for other guilds to use. It's not, share it with your guild mates. Share it with the rest of your team. You're more than welcome to. So we're going to be looking here. The new team for P3, okay? We found our new team. I don't think we quite found the Tebow yet, like we did in the Rancor raid, but we definitely found a very strong team. here for the Rancor raid. Anybody want to just real quick give us a rundown on this team? Remon, I'm sure you've been following this team.
I think that's over to Remon then.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to take credit for it. We did see it used on a couple other videos. There were a couple of people that used different variations of it, but basically it's a Chirpa lead, running Palpatine, and you're basically just shocking the other team or besides the B2 and the shock. Basically, every time Palpatine then attacks the B2, once all the droids are shocked, just gives Palpatine 100% turn meter. So he just gets to keep going over and over again. The only droid that gets to attack is the B2 himself, and overall, it just it does a lot more damage than what we were trying to nick and scratch to get before.
So looking at this, I'm looking at a screenshot from Oud Binard. And his Stormtrooper Han did 0 damage. So what? Did he die right out the gate or something? I don't understand that.
No, I mean he's just used to basically protect from the the cannon.
Well, he has to attack something if he's alive, right? He's gonna have to do some type of damage. He's got 0 damage. I just thought that was interesting.
All he's getting off is a taunt. Nobody else is going besides Palpatine on this team.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I haven't watched any of these videos or anything like that. I just got. I had like 8 bazillion direct messages today, and one of the ones happened to be from Ariston, and he said you should update the guy with this team that we're using. So I got that over there. So that was pretty cool. So that's definitely different. Before, the team that we were recommending was Dachka lead, Jawa, Ugnaught, Stormtrooper Han, Solo, and Captain Phasma. So that was our previous top suggested team, but this one blew that one out of the water. So very cool. Do we know who initially came up with this? Where was the first videos that were surfacing regarding this? Do we know?
I believe Wild Grunt had put out a video of it, but I mean, I've also heard some people mention that members of Team Instinct did it. But I mean, I'm not sure who actually came up with the first who did it first. But the first video I saw was Wild Grunt.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll have to test that one out.
He's also a YouTuber. He has his own channel, Wild Grunt. I mean, check it out. He doesn't really do a lot of commentary. It's mostly music and then just gameplay. But he's got some cool stuff on there.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll have to do this. I think we're into phase 3 now on our AAT raid, so I'll have to check that out later after the show. All right. So are we ready to move into the Swindler's Minute here?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So again, make sure you head over and check out that raid guide. Who are we going to be looking at on our Swindler's Minute today?
Well, let's start by looking at Han Solo.
All right, let me pull him up real quick on the old swgoh.gg, and we're going to be looking at Han Solo. We're looking at Raid Han, correct?
That's correct.
Nice. All right, we got him up.
Well, first off, Raid Han has a mediocre base speed, 136, so it's nothing to get too excited about. We also have a 17-ish K and 15K health and protection, so maybe get both of those up to 25,000, which can hit 50,000. 33% or so average armor gets him to about 75,000 effective hit points. So Han Solo's not the toughest cookie, but if you put even a basic amount of modding on him correctly, high quality mods that is, he's going to get into that neighborhood. Now, also considering his mod strategy, you're probably going to put crit damage triangle, of course, speed, arrow, and you're then looking at around 17K on his basic. Now, what's interesting about that is he's going to get to do that when the round starts. So Han has a lot of power to stun any of those problematic characters that are looking at you early on in that fight. Now, the Deadeye is his real amazing move. It does about 30K on crit, which he's going to crit. It has a 3-turn cooldown on Omega, and you get to go again. So right after you do that move, boom, you do quick draw again. Or you can also do Never Tell Me the Odds, which gives a whole bunch of great buffs to your team. Sometimes you want to have buffs, especially if you're perhaps going to be using this guy in round 4 in the raid, the new AAT raid, having that ability to pull some buffs out of your pocket when that airplane's going to bomb you. Pretty awesome. And his shoots first move gives him 35% counter chance. So it does a lot of, first off, he has a couple of things to think about. First of all, he does high damage. He has a super overpowered utility in the fact that he can stun somebody before the round starts. Unless you're fighting a shore trooper, you get to choose who you stun. So that's terrific. He's frankly kryptonite against the droid teams. Those droid teams behind the droid engineer, he stuns the droid engineer and you can just walk those. I love him in the tournament because he just stuns that engineer and then I crush the team. It is so money. And there's also the consideration of how you're going to be using your scoundrels. So Han Solo is terrific, but we're also looking at all scoundrels. So first of all, they're not really arena ready. I don't believe that scoundrels are quite arena ready today until we see a few more tweaks in the meta, such as added level 8 abilities, using up your Omegas. But he also can work in the raid with a secondary team. Scoundrels, that is, broadly, and Han Solo specifically with him, for any of the phases. So imagine you're in Heroic. You've got all 4 of your teams, and you also have a Scoundrels team that you throw in as your 5th. Wherever you have a little bit of weakness, you can throw in those Scoundrels, and Han Solo can help you recover from that early, the fact that you're coming in cold, and the opponents are going to have some turn meter on that second fight in any of those phases. So your Han Solo can stun that B2 before he does that nasty move to your whole team or whatever it is. He is vital to coming in cold on those arena fights. And with Scoundrels, you can do some interesting things. So that's the minute for this week, and we'll be talking again soon.
Gasus Belly, yes.
Very good.
Stuff.
Very good, man. That's cool. So we got to learn a little bit about Raid Han, or as we like to call him, OG, Original Gangsta Han. So cool. Good deal. All right. Well, what questions did we get? Did anybody grab us some of those questions that they were asking in the live chat and get those out of the way?
Arkham Ace was wanting you to suggest a team for lower level players. He didn't say what for, just a team.
Just a team, just any team. Riemann, you want to start us off with just any team for lower level players?
Sure. I mean, if you're talking about arena, I would say for lower level players, if you're just starting out, you're probably looking at, Luminara, again, as your first character that you're going to get out of Galactic Wars. So I'd say probably having her. I mean, again, you're not going to be competing for top of your arena with her, but if you're just looking for a beginner team, I'd say, you're going for Luminara. I'd say you're going for out of arena shipments, you want to start off with maybe, I'd say Princess Leia, and then you want to go with, you want to go out of Cantina, probably with, I'd say Qui-Gon Jinn, and then out of Cantina nodes, you're probably looking at Lando first, all right? I mean, what node is Lando farmable from? Is it from the first level of Cantina or second?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's one of those early ones, for sure.
Yeah, so I know I'd say Lando would probably be, one of your first farms there nowadays. Before we would have always said Geonosian Soldier. I don't think that's the case anymore. And then... out of just hard nodes, of course, you want to farm Rey. I'd still say she's the way to go there, or the top person to farm out of there. But just a beginner's team, I'd say, run. You're going to also have to run some of these guys that you get given to you. I mean, who do you get given to you nowadays when you start the game? I believe you get Luke Skywalker now, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I would say, a beginner team would probably be, Luke, with maybe a Qui-Gon lead with Luminara, Stormtrooper Han, and Princess Leia, and maybe Lando.
Yeah, if you're filling up Lando, it's on the Cantina Battle 1E, so real early on there.
Yeah, I'd go for Lando right away before anybody else at a Cantina. So I mean, like like I said, I mean, the very very beginning, when you first start, you're going to have to work with what's given to you because you're going to have to farm these characters first before you can unlock them. But in some cases, you also get the Samsung pack when you start out, so you can get like IG86 or something like that. So you may be able to run with him at first. But again, the first characters you're going to be able to level up all the way. I'd say you need Luminara to get through Galactic Wars, so you want to run her maybe in arena with, Qui-Gon, Leia, I'd say Lando, and what was the other option we were talking about? Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Yeah.
I need a little bit more time to really think about a good answer for that. I mean, that's kind of, I'm just thinking like there's two different versions of early game, right? Like you're talking about really early game where like you're like level 5, level 10, where you're basically just running what you're given. But if you're talking about a team you can actually farm, the first team I would farm from each of those areas would be, like I said, Luminara first from Galactic Wars, Lando first out of Cantina nodes, Qui-Gon first out of Cantina shipments, Princess Leia first out of Arena shipments, and I'd farm Rey out of hard nodes. That would be my opinion.
Yep, that's some solid advice there. And if you
And Royal Guard as well out of hard nodes. Both of them.
If you want to head over to Lord Skunk, the lordskunk.com, then we've got those guides for free-to-play players and early people, top 10 list for what teams and what to go after farming-wise.
Yeah, make sure you definitely check that out. Go to lordskunk.com, click on guides. There's a whole section there on the guides page. It's got character reviews. It's got new players. Now, the one thing I will note that is a little outdated. The droid ones I think is still good. I think this is still a good rule of thumb. If you're just starting out the game, droids for your dark side, and then we used to say Jedi for your light side, which you still could because you if you want to get Yoda. You're still going to need those Jedi. So that's still viable if that's the route you want to go. And a lot of new players, that is. That's more important to them than anything else is, getting the Yoda.
There's a lot of good Jedi.
Yeah.
Available
especially with Kenobi coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, the other thing, though, I will say, I will throw this in there. The other thing is that if you decided that you maybe wanted to put your Jedis in the back burner and do a different team for light side, you could definitely go with Rebels. I mean, that's super strong. Obviously, I'm doing a Rebel team right now in this Galactic Wars. We're doing this live show, so you can definitely do Rebels.
The problem with Rebels is they're all farmable from the same location, right? Like you have Princess Leia, Han, and Akbar all in the same shipments.
I don't know though. I wouldn't say I would use Leia or Akbar anymore. Really, I mean they're not high on that priority list. I mean you could definitely get away with.
I would put Akbar high on the priority list.
Leia gets a significant increase going to Gear 11 now that the gear levels have increased. So I mean, bear in mind Leia gets a nice boost.
Yeah, I understand that.
Damage.
This is for new player trying to start out. I mean, they don't need to try to get every single in-game roster.
Leia's good early on as well. She can help you so much in Galactic War, probably even more so than.
Well, if you had to do this,
Lumen.
if you had to choose between Akbar, Leia, and Stormtrooper Han, who would you choose?
Stormtrooper Han.
Yeah,
most people say Leia.
That's
Stormtrooper Han.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So start with Stormtrooper Han, get Wedge, Biggs, get your Lando. So you can start there if you want. Again, there's so many Rebels now, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, again, we're gonna have Bistan coming out. We got a couple of these other characters. So if you want to go Jedi, go Jedi. If you want to go, I highly recommend going droids to start out on the dark side. That'll help you a ton. And then if you want to go for Rebels, and maybe put the Jedi in the back burner, I think all those are all viable.
Buy the droid pack. Buy the droid starter bundle.
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah, I think it's $24.99, but yeah, it's definitely worth it if
you're going to only spend once in the game ever, like in your free to play, buy the droid pack.
Yeah.
Well, buy the $5 dark side pack and then buy the droid pack.
The dark side pack sucks now. Okay, the dark side pack gives you get Greedo now. Okay, it's not you don't get
Vader shards.
You don't get Dooku.
Costa would buy that in a second.
Yeah, you'd be all over that.
And that's why
Greedo, where?
I think if you can play this game, completely free to play, other than that droid pack. If you buy that droid pack and you don't spend another dime on a game, I think you'd still be okay. That's just it gets you a good boost going. And the dark side, really, they kind of give you some pretty good light side characters when you get going, at least to get you started. But man, that dark side can really help give you that that edge you need to get going in the game, especially if you get on a server that's new and you're early on it. Really put you ahead. So good stuff there. All right, do we have another question, Chicky Cutie?
Yeah, John Williams says, how many points did top players get per victory? I think he means in tournaments.
Wait a minute. Let's go back before we do that. Is this John Williams, the guy who did the score for all the Star Wars? Is this that John Williams?
I think it might be.
Well, if that is, hey, we appreciate you coming to check out the show. We love your music. All right. Sorry, get back to the question. My bad.
How many points did top players get per victory, and did your points reset the next day?
For what?
I think he meant the tournament.
Well, your points wouldn't have diminished.
Let's talk about the tournament, and when you're in the top 3, you're getting around 45 points per victory if you're able to escape all your allies.
So you finish with a team of 5. Still standing, right?
Right. So if all your allies are still standing and you defeat the team, you're looking at about 45 points. You get 2 points per defeated enemy, and then you get 4 points. 4 points per living ally. If you get to rank 1, though, you start to get a lot more. Like there's a lot more options where you can get where you can fight one team, where you can fight a team for 1 point per defeated enemy, and then 4 points, which gives you less points. I think that's
20 points there. Yeah. Or
no,
25.
So let's say you have all your allies, you get 4 points, so it's 20 points there. So you get 25 points for that victory. It gets really slim at the top. You know, when you're at rank 1, it becomes difficult to get points and to stay ahead. That's why you're going to have to spend a lot of ally tokens to stay ahead there. And the people behind you are going to be spending less. So it kind of gives the people that are in, working up to rank 1 a little bit more of an advantage. Either way, it's not a lot of points when you get up there. When you're in the lower ranks, you get a lot of points per victory. So it depends. It depends on your strategy, right? You can either go in there and go all out, balls to the wall, try to take a large lead so that everybody else gets kind of discouraged and doesn't try to catch up to you.
Yeah.
Or you can try to make a push for it at the end, which I've seen a lot of people do too, and that can also work out for you. I don't know which strategy is better. I've typically tried to stay ahead for the tournament just to keep people at bay. You know, once they see that you're up by a couple of thousand points and they realize how little you get for each battle, it tends to become discouraging to try to catch up at that point.
Yeah, I agree. It happened. That's what it did for me. I was looking at it. I was like, man, I could make that run. I think I got up to like 44, 41 or something like that. I might have even gotten to the 30s. But the gap between 30 to get to 25, I'm like, this isn't even worth it. So I just ended up stopping. I think I ended up finishing the tournament without doing anything else at that point after getting to that high 30s, low 40s. I ended up at like 70, finishing like 74. So I was fine with that. I mean, there's no difference between 30 and 70. There's no difference between 30 and 90.
I got about 70 myself.
I think the best strategy is if you're going for a top 10 spot, or really top 5 is where you're going to get where it's worth it. If you're not getting top 5, it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. If you're going to go for a top 5 spot, you should go in early, go for a big lead, and just keep it. And I'm telling you, like day 2 of the tournament, people will just they'll still try to keep up with the other people around them so that they can stay in the top 5 or top 10 or whatever, but they're not going to go for you. They're going to realize that you're just way up there, and they're not going to try anymore, unless you have somebody that's just ridiculous, like I did the first time I did a tournament, and he just decided to spend a ton of money, and he caught up to me. But again, I think that's just the best strategy. I mean, you're gonna get most people, like when I did the last tournament with the ally points, the one that just passed recently. I saw that people at rank 4, rank 5 gave up. Like they weren't even trying the last day to catch up to me anymore.
Yeah. Or they may have run out of ally points to work with, right?
Well, I was ahead by like 2,000 points on them, like 2,500 points. I mean, it would have taken them like a couple of hours of gameplay to try to catch up. So I mean, I just took a big lead overnight, the first night, and I had a couple other guys that just stayed with me. I let them pass me because again, I was just looking for a top 5 finish so I could get the 7-star short trooper. But I was able to take a long enough lead or a big enough lead that the guys behind the guys behind them, the 4th rank and the 5th rank guys, just gave up.
So on the same subject, what do you think is a good defensive team to stick in for the tournament?
Did we just do that last week? We just did the top 10 defensive teams last week, didn't we? Don't forget
For the new tournament. I mean, now we know more about it. It's coming next weekend on Friday.
Yeah.
So we need our teams by then.
We've had this discussion many times, and I don't think there's any team that's so OP that it's unbeatable right now. Period. I mean, like there was before. I mean, my droid team was OP and unbeatable for a long time, but now there's not really much that is. Wigs and them were for a little while until people caught up, but now it's pretty even playing field. But I'll tell you, the best team right now I think would be like a kind of like a wedge lead with Biggs and Lando. With Shore Trooper and Sunfac. I think that's the best defensive team you can put out there right now.
Yeah, I think we referred to that in the map.
Sounds right.
Yeah, just a quick rundown. But if you want a full breakdown of what your options are there, again, head over to lordskunk.com and check out last week's top 10.
Yep, we did in last week's live show. I did just actually break that segment down, so that will be released next week. So it's just in time for the arena tournament. So we'll get that out, but you can catch that in the last live show if you missed that for any reason, or you need to go back and review. We did the top 10 defense teams that you have. So maybe you don't have the necessary team that Riemann just said, but you should have something in there in the ones that we did that we went over last week. So pretty cool. And they brought that tournament out pretty quick. There was only about a 2-week window, wasn't it? Less than that. No, well, it comes out next week. Yeah, about 2 weeks in it. Yeah, so pretty cool. All right, so cool. Any last questions that we had, or did we get through all those?
I think the last question was just how many ally points realistically do we need to save up to use to do well on the tournament to sort of come top 5, I guess.
It's going to be really. It's really going to be really
It will
short
depend.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know. The best answer to that is going to save as many as you possibly can. Use your Galactic War tokens if you need to. We know it's coming next week, so I would start using maybe some of your Galactic War tokens if you have those saved up. As a matter of fact, while we're on there, I'm already in there right now. Let's buy some. So we'll buy the 400, the 800, and the 16 or the 1200. We got those. So that puts us.
My advice would be anybody that went all in on the last tournament, I would just hold off on this one and just save your ally tokens for the next one.
Yeah,
because I think
be good to leapfrog and then really push on the next one.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have enough ally tokens to try to take this one. So I think
I might have a chance.
Well, and keep in mind too, we don't know where Short Trooper is going to fall at. I mean, if Short Trooper, drop. I mean, he's going to have to drop somewhere. I think. I don't think they're going to try to not put him somewhere. So I mean, if they drop him in, Galactic War, they drop him. So I mean, hey, the tournament was fun. People got him a little early, but hey, at the end of the day. Do you need to kill yourself to try to do it? I don't think so, and I don't think they really need you to kill yourself to try to do it. They're not doing it with crystals now; they're doing it with the ally.
The rewards are great, even besides the shards.
Yeah,
man, I was doing a dance when I got my top 100 rewards.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think a fair goal for the tournament. Now, there's going to be certain people like Riemann that want to, and we got Skycrack and Dr. No Card. I mean, those guys just want to be at the top. That's just what they want to do, and that's cool. But that's not the majority. So the majority, I think it's realistic and it's fair to set a goal to finish in the top 100. I've done it both tournaments. I've done it. I didn't invest a lot of crystals in the first one. I didn't invest a lot of ally points or ally tokens or whatever in the second one. So I think that's realistic. So if you set the goal to do that, save some of your Galactic War tokens right now. If you haven't saved up, start buying some of the ally tokens that you can now in the shipments there, and you should be good to go. Really, honestly. And if if you get a bad server, you'll find out. If you're not moving up far enough, fast enough, you'll find out. And like they said, just put it off on the back burner. And on to the next one.
Get top 500 then, so you get your 20 shards, so that when you get top 100 next time, you can unlock them at 4-star.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, I ended up finishing with around 9,100 points, and I blew through and I have, bear in mind, I have like 4 teams I can use that can defeat meta teams, and I went through about 540,000 ally tokens.
Yeah, and you finished what number?
I finished in third place.
Third place. Okay, cool. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, I think really, if you, it's not like we thought it was going to be. It's not like we only get Shore Trooper or we're only going to get this character from these tournaments. I think they're going to release them again. You know, like they did with Shore Trooper, they'll probably release them for 2 tournaments or so, maybe 4, depending on the type of character, and then we're going to get them somewhere else in the game. So I don't think you need to kill yourself, and I don't think they want you to kill yourself because they did switch it from crystals to ally points. So just enjoy the tournament. Make a goal of finishing top 100 if you can. That would be great. And I think overall you'll be pleased with that. So
it depends. It depends on your goals, right? Like I mean, like I wanted Shore Trooper specifically because I want to build a nice Empire team. You know, and you know, for me it was important to get that piece. If you're really in love with this new character when he comes out and you really want to go for it, do it. But again, you're gonna want to pay attention to the shard that you're on, and see how quickly people are spiking up with points. If you see that you're on kind of a light shard, and you got enough ally tokens to go for it, then make your push. If not, then maybe it's best to just hold off, save your ally tokens for the next one.
Well, the other thing too that people got to keep in mind, which we didn't factor in, which that's probably the biggest question that people should be asking, is the time that it takes. It's not like you just do 3 or 4 battles and you're done. I mean, this is hours upon hours that need to be spent to do these battles. So, I mean, what do you think your time investment were if you average it out between these 2 tournaments?
I'd say at least 8 to 10 hours of gameplay for each tournament.
Yeah, and probably higher, really. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, probably really. I mean, I know I had to spend quite a bit just to get in the top 100. So just keep that in mind. I mean, it doesn't cost you money now because of the, there's no crystals involved, but there still is a time factor that comes into play there. So
once you get to where you're getting like 40 points a battle, it's going to take you like an hour or 2 hours to get like 2,000 points, like 1,500 to 2,000 points. I mean, it's going to take you a couple hours of just straight battling, and you're going to be probably refreshing, because not everybody has the opportunity. Like I happen to be able to run my droid team against other droid teams. I happen to be able to run my Shore Trooper team against other Shore Trooper teams. Like I have counter teams to most teams out there. If you're only able to run one meta team that can beat these teams that are up there on the top, bear in mind, you're going to have to keep refreshing at the highest amount to beat these guys, to keep using your best players. And you're going to run through those points really quick.
Yeah.
You got to try to come up with strategies where maybe you take out 1 or 2 of your best players and put in somebody who's almost as good, and then maybe just understand that you're going to sacrifice one of your characters, so you're just going to get enough. You'll get the victory, but you're only going to get the amount of points that you get for 4 surviving allies. So instead of getting the max, you're going to get a little bit less than that. You just got to spread out the
Royal
points.
Guard is awesome for that.
You just got to try to spread out the points as best you can and see what makes sense. It also depends on the roster that you have right now. You know what I mean? So if you think you can beat those teams that are at the top there, just try to see how many teams you have that can actually beat those teams, because you're gonna start to run out of different options, and it's going to become very, very expensive to just keep refreshing. I mean, you're talking 5,000 ally tokens every time you refresh your team at max. So that's 20 battles for every 100,000. So you're going to get you're going to start to run through your ally tokens really quickly. I mean, like I said, I went through 5. I thought I had a lot, at 540,000. I went through those like nothing.
Yep, good stuff. We'll talk more too about the tournament as we get closer. We'll be launching the tournament next week, so we'll have a whole probably tournament section on the live show next Friday. We are going to be wrapping this up now. We are about 30 minutes over our normal. We always shoot for an hour. We're approaching an hour and a half. So here's the good news. If you stuck around with us and you wanted to get those ally codes, we're going to be giving those away in the after party, okay, every Friday after the live show. And again, just a reminder, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, every Friday, okay, that's 7:30 Central and 4:30 p.m. Pacific. We do the live show. This live show starts, we stream it on YouTube, Twitch, Hitbox, Mob Crush now, Beam Pro. I mean, there's sites we stream on that I don't even know how to pronounce. Okay, we're on so many different sites now. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you're on YouTube or you're on Twitch, please make sure that you subscribe or follow or do whatever you do on that channel. Make sure you like it. Share the video if you can. Really appreciate that. But we're going to be doing the after party in the Discord. If somebody can post a link. Actually, matter of fact, I think I still have it copied. I'm going to post a link right now. This is in the YouTube chat. You can click on that link. It'll take you into our Discord voice and text chat program. We do the after party every Friday. After the live show, if you need to get into the Discord, you can go to lordskunk.com. If that link doesn't work for you or you're on a different streaming service that can't click that link, you can go to lordskunk.com and click on Discord up at the top, and it will bring you into our server. Just go over into the voice chat there for Galaxy of Heroes, and we'll make sure to give those ally codes away. So what we'll do when you get over there is we'll do like we normally do in the chat. Okay, we'll pick the numbers between 1 and 200 or whatever it might be. Like we normally do in the live chat, we'll do that in the Discord chat. So you guys can ask additional questions or do whatever you need to do. I see a lot of good questions being asked in the live chat. You can get into this Discord and ask those questions, and people will be glad to answer those. We got a couple thousand Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes players from all over the world in there to hang out with you. Again, click in the description of this video. Tons of great information in there. Tons of links. Make sure you check out lordskunk.com. We got the AAT Tank Takedown Raid guide, which is massive. It's helping out a ton of guilds, a ton of players. We got a whole guide list of all types of character reviews, top 10 lists, everything you can possibly want or need to be successful in this game is over there. And again, thank you to all of our patrons, all of our supporters. If you're interested in supporting the live content and the web content, the website, and all the other stuff that we have, please head over to Patreon. You can find that in the link of this video or on lordskunk.com and click on support us. Thank you, everybody. We will see you guys on a special, again, for those of you who might have missed it, a special live broadcast on Thursday, November 17th. We will be doing a 2-hour special, doing a live heroic AAT tank takedown. You're going to be able to listen in on Team Skunk as we go through this raid. We're going to talk about different strategies, different teams. You're going to hear from some of the top players who are just putting out massive damage on this tank takedown raid. So make sure you mark that down on your calendars. Subscribe to the channel. We will notify you when we go live. That will be on Thursday, okay? That's next Thursday, November 17th. It'll start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific. So make sure you check that out. And then, of course, we will be doing the live show again on Friday the next day. So thanks for all the guests for hanging out. Thanks for all the people that watch the show. Appreciate it, guys. And we will see you over in the after party on Discord.